So we're in character creation. I can select my background. So these are all the Dungeons & Dragons backgrounds that you know if you play Dungeons & Dragons. I can change my body type. I can change my race, so I can play as a tiefling, I can play as a drow, I can play as a human, I can play as a githyanki, I can play as a dwarf, I can play as an elf, I can play as a half-elf, I can play as a half-drow, I can play as a halfling. And there's more, but we're only showing a few. These are the races that will be going into early access, and there more will be added afterwards. And so depending on which race I pick, I get different features. I can also select which class I'm going to play. We have 6 classes that will be available on early access from the get-go, and then we'll just add more as we progress. So I can play as a wizard, cleric, fighter, ranger, rogue, and warlock, and then I can pick the ability points that go with that and select my skills in which I'm going to be proficient. Today we're going to play an origin story, so we have different origin stories. There's going to be 5 that are going to be in early access, there will be more after. So this is Lysel, she's the girl you saw in the intro, so she's a Githyanki. Gale is a wizard, he has a very big problem, and that's pretty much that he's going to explode. Shadowheart, she's a dark cleric, so she's got quite a story too. Will is a monster hunter who made a pact with the devil, he regrets it. And today we're going to play as Astarion, who is a vampire spawn. He's a noble, so vampire spawn is not really a vampire, he has a vampire to which he is a slave. He's a high elf, which means that we get to select a cantrip for him. So we're going to pick Mage Hand because we're going to do cool things with it. And all the rest is already preset for him, so we just have to click the Venture Forth button and we can continue our adventure. So we're going to skip the tutorial because it's not ready yet. And so I'll tell you what happens in tutorial, or at least in a nutshell. We're going to capture that Nautiloid. We're going to do that together with the Githyanki warrior that you saw captured in the intro. And we're going to teleport it to a place called Faerun, more specifically to the Sword Coast, more specifically 200 miles to the east of Baldur's Gate. That was, by the way, the city that you saw destroyed is not Baldur's Gate, it was Yartar. Goodbye, Yartar. Oh yeah.
Daylight. It can't be. What the hell's is going on?
So what I forgot to mention is that my vampire spawn normally can't walk in the sunlight, he can't go over running water, and he needs an invitation if he wants to enter somewhere. But apparently he can walk in the sunlight, so that's kind of handy for us. So he's going to try to figure out what's going on. So I can control the camera and put it in third person, so then it's running behind me. Or I can just go back top down and then basically play it in a traditional manner. So I'm going to like going like this, and let's have a look at what we can find. Have a look over there. Sunlight. So this is a river, it's called the Kayontar.
Better not push my luck.
And it reaches all the way to Baldur's Gate, but we have no boat, so we're going to have to go in a different direction. Obviously, you can see that it's been a lot of fun over here. Mangled Fisher, you have the little letter.
Perfectly good blood.
The love letter is none of my business. So.
Was the sky always this blue? It's magnificent.
Starden doesn't really care about the fact that everybody's dead. Apple. She is banging at that door, so let's go ask and introduce ourselves.
Blasted doors, What? Oh, it's you. I saw you on the ship. You survived, then?
Suddenly I saw what she saw, felt what she felt. Anger, confusion, resolve.
Ah! You've got the same thing I do. In your head. I felt it.
Okay, so I have a whole bunch of dialogue options. So what just happened to us is because of the tadpole. I was already introduced to that in the tutorial. We call it mind melding. So we both have a tadpole in our heads, and we can telepathically connect to each other. But I'm also very hungry. So I'm playing this from the point of view of Astarion, vampire spawn. So you will see that all of my choices will be tailored to being Astarion, essentially. So I'm going to stare at her and realize that I'm very hungry.
What's the matter with you? Has that tadpole scrambled your brain already?
So I can basically say, okay, well, I'll just feed, or I can swallow my urge and feign ignorance, which is what I'm going to do because I need a companion.
Come on. The chase through hell, the creatures, what they did to us, the tadpole. That thing is going to consume us from the inside and turn us into mind flayers. You and I need a healer. Finding one won't be easy in this wilderness. We'll need supplies. I'm hoping something of use might be behind these doors, but I've barely made a dent in them so far.
Okay, so I can offer to help her, but I'm a rogue also, so I can tell her to save her strength, then that I'll pick the lock.
By all means. I'm going to see what's at the top of this cliff. Hopefully there's no more of these creatures along the way.
I will... Well, actually, I'll suggest that we join forces and say that that gives us better odds of survival.
Or just company for our final moments. But you're right. Whatever lies ahead will be a little less daunting with support. You can call me Shadowheart.
I can tell her that I'm a star in a reformed vampire spawn who can walk in the sunlight, or I can choose not to tell her, which is a good idea. And I can also question her what she knows about the things in each of our heads.
Very little. Supposedly, those monsters breed by planting their tadpoles in people's heads. Over time, the infected victim turns into a mind flayer. I don't remember how long it takes, but we should hurry.
So that's a problem. I'll introduce myself, Astarion,
Lead the way, Astarion.
and I've made my first companion. try to lockpick that door, but I don't have a lockpick, so that's not gonna. So, whoops, and I got myself into the door. All right, let's see if this fine gentleman has something of use, but he doesn't. So let's continue, see where I'm gonna end up.
More of those wretched things.
Oops. So that's usually an introduction to combat when you see something like that. So let's try and see what that is. Where are they? Oh yeah, this is. So combat is turn-based because Dungeons and Dragons is a turn-based system. So we base ourselves on that. I need to be very careful for these intellect divorers because if they get too close to me, it will be very painful. This can actually end up in a party wipe, but I'll do my very best not to let that happen. I'm going to seek the high ground. In Dungeons and Dragons, seeking advantage allows you to roll twice, which is a good idea because there's a lot of dice rolling going on behind the scenes, as you'll soon see. We translate the dice rolls into percentages so that you don't have to do all the mathematics yourself. So this gives me a 90% chance to hit, so that's a pretty good one. Also, I'll manage, don't worry about it. That's a 45%, that's not so good, but let's try. I'm casting Sacred Fire, let's see what that does. Alright, to puny 2 damage. So if you're curious to know how the calculations are happening, they're happening behind the scenes here. You can just hover over it and then you can learn all of the math behind the numbers that you see, which is why Jesse said lots of numbers. We're going to be very brave and we're just going to go up there. And then I'm going to see how far I can get this started because I don't want him to die right away. Alright, Shadowheart. Well, she's not really me, she's just my recruit, so cast Shield of Faith of her. The bonus actions, these are my actions, these are my bonus actions. You just see, yeah, it says AP, it's a little bit misleading, but it's actually just the actions that you have. But sometimes you can have 2 of them. So I'm going to end my turn, and now it's the enemy's turn. See what they do. Unfortunately, they can jump, but that's good. That's actually not that bad. So what I'm going to do with Shadowheart is I'm going to try something that's a little bit risky, but sometimes works. I'm going to use Shove, and I'm going to try to... Oh, it won't work. Yeah, there you go. So that guy's a little bit further from me, and then she can still hammer at that guy. It's really not hitting very well. And then I'm going to shoot with the Starn at that guy. So yeah, we're doing pretty good actually. All right. Ooh. Ooh. So combat is fairly high stakes, as you can see. So they have a reaction, so that basically means if she walks away from here, they're going to hit her, which is not good. So what I'm going to do, and he can't walk. Yeah. So I have a jump. I didn't want to use it yet. But first I'm going to, oh man, that's jump as a bonus action in VG3. So that means that I can't use another bonus action, but it acts as a disengage also. And it's enhanced by my tadpole that I have inside of me. I do have one action that I can still do. So I'm just going to try it out. This is my mage hand. My mage hand is bad at many things, but it's very good at throwing stuff. So I'm going to just slap it. There you go. I wanted to show this to you today, but you have no idea how nervous I was about doing it because I was going to get in this situation. So I obviously should have approached them in a completely different manner. We'll see in the next combat how you can actually be much more strategic. Famous last words, I guess, but we'll see. All right. She is hurting, so she's going to drink my first healing potion. I don't have a lot of them. Then she's just gonna, well actually, I don't want to use it up. I'll just smack him like this. Maybe I'll get lucky. Okay, alright, well, can I run even further? No. Alright, here it comes. That's good. Oh, no. He's getting back up. Very high stakes. He's hiding for the shot. That's interesting. Okay. Mage hand, where are you? Do your thing. The 80%. So sorry. Yeah, you can also throw bodies that you find in the world, but it's not working. So that's why I'm using the shove actually. It's working, but it doesn't look as good. Oh, why did I go to sneak? I misclicked. Really, did I put my hand into sneak? That's really clever. Okay, so yeah, the announcement was that it was going to be live, I think, so there you go. All right, 90% shot. That should, oh yeah, actually I have a pin down attack, which is a action that you get with your weapon. So each weapon that you get gives you an extra type of action. Yes, I know that you're sneaking. Come on. All right.
You got this. You got this.
Hold on, I have a plan. I got a bottle with grease, so I'm just gonna throw. Can you stop hand? And normally he's not supposed to be able to hit like this. Actually, can't you do anything useful? If they want to attack you, maybe. Ooh. Oh, they killed. No, they didn't kill hand. Okay. All right. So they did kill hand. Yeah, hand is not supposed to die, but well, it's going swimmingly. Okay, so I wanted to throw, so I have a throw action. I can throw pretty much everything. In a presentation I did previously, I threw my boots. So for comedial effect, I'll just throw my boots. Maybe I'll actually just kill him. Oh, that's it.
Good work, good work.
All right. So, that's not that bad, actually. So, where is she? Oops, doesn't want to close anymore. You want to keep on throwing? No, it's enter, yeah. Please close. So she's down, she's not dead yet. So that's the good news. So basically how this works is, this is death saving throws. So each turn there's going to be a roll behind the scenes, and if it's a good roll, then we're going to get a little blue spot like this, and if we have 3 of them, she gets stabilized, which is cool. And if we get 3 red ones, because it's a bad roll, then she dies. And they are going to keep on hitting at her, because if she goes to the negative of her maximum HP, she dies too. So we're going to try to avoid that from happening. But I'm really not switching. Okay, so I shouldn't have thrown the boost, by the way. That was a really stupid move. This looks like a really good hit. Good, excellent. And we have 1 guy left. Thank you. Why? Okay, well, let's hope that this one's gonna go right. Oh. Man. Oh!
Bravo.
Oh man. Okay, well, I did tell you that. Oh, stand up, stand up. No, stand up. Hold on, does this work? I was too late. All right, so I do have, the save game problem is real, so it is genuine, so I need to restart. So I'm just gonna do a quick restart. I'll just do it as fast, and then we'll do Q&A for 5 minutes.
You got it out of the way early.
Yeah, that's why they gave us a half-hour extra, Jesse.
Yeah, absolutely. You're fine.
I'll just sneak past the fight and we'll go to the next one, because otherwise we might be in trouble. Luckily for you, we have escape buttons that allow me to rapidly. Let me do that. I cantrip. Take my trusty mage hand. Venture forth. Go forward into the game. And I will recruit Shadowheart again, so I'll do that in the shortest possible manner. And then I suggest we try to avoid the intellect divorce. Take a different route if we can. And if we can't, well, we'll have to fight them again before we proceed with our adventure. So yeah, I've done this, like, we've done a press tour in the last 3 weeks, and I've done this like 30, 40 times. I in general do not die on it, although it's always tight. But
It's daylight.
meanwhile, we can also look at a few other pieces of the game. I'm gonna make him walk over there.
What the hell's is going on?
We're gonna just let Astarion run Astarion, run over here, thank you. So, meantime, we can have a look at the back side of the UI. So, this is where you see all my equipment. Here you see all of my abilities, and so when you click on
Was
them,
the sky
you see
always this
your skills, your distances. And this is my spell book, where the spells that I know are going to be learned. Okay. Arrived.
Blasted doors, What? Oh, it's you. I saw you on the ship. You survived then?
Suddenly I saw what she saw, felt what she felt. Anger, confusion, resolve.
You've got the same thing I do. In your head. I felt it.
Okay, so I'm just going to be very nice and, no, I'm just going to recruit her right
Come
away.
on. The chase through hell. The creatures. What they did to us. The tadpole. That thing is going to consume us from the inside and turn us into mind flayers. You and I need a healer. Finding one won't be easy in this wilderness. We'll need supplies. I'm hoping something of use might be behind these doors. But I've barely made a dent in them so far.
I'm going to help you.
Be my guest, but that door's too strong. Maybe there's another way, up the cliff.
I really like that cliff.
Hopefully there's no more of these things. Or just company for our final moments.
Well, that was true.
But you're right. Whatever lies ahead will be a little less daunting with support. You can call me Shadowheart.
Yep, I'm Astarion.
Lead the way, Astarion.
Do you want
Alright.
to take an audience vote on if we do this fight again?
Yeah. Oh yeah? Okay, alright,
Those wretched
alright.
things.
Okay, so now I'm gonna play it like a pro. Do it really well, and I'll show off a few other things. First of all, I am gonna dip my bow into the fire. There we go. Then I'm gonna press this button, which allows me to enter turn-based mode outside of combat. And so in that way you can sneak up on people and you can do all kinds of things that they don't expect you to do. So, and then basically the way that works is that they have 6 seconds. Oh yeah, see these are, oh man. I wonder if I can make this shot. It's too far, right? He hasn't seen me. Cannot reach me. Okay. It's the enemy's turn. So they get to patrol for 6 seconds, but they're not doing anything. So that's good. You see that over there? That's explosive. So I'm going to try to get there. And shoot it. 96%. Alright. Shadowheart is still waiting for me. Like, I'll make her join combat. Okay. This is much better. I feel much more relaxed about this fight. I'm gonna pin him down. So he can't get too close. There you go. This is how it's supposed to be. And then I did actually have a very strong attack, but I never got to use it, which is Guiding Bolt. But I'm going to use it now. Where's the other guy? Oh, he's still there. No, I'm going to wait. I'm just going to do this one. Yeah, very successful also. But I'm going to just put her in front of it, put on my shield. And alright. He can't move anymore, so that's good. The other guy is very enthusiastically coming towards us. She's going to use her Guiding Bolt, which in general tends to kill them in one shot. There you go, 15 of damage. and then we're gonna shoot.
You fight well.
All right. So that was exciting. Let's see what this guy has. He's got a silver locket, a dagger. I don't need a dagger. I got one already. But the rapier, I might want to use. So let's put that one on. There we go. And go forward and explore a little bit more. See what the world has to offer us. Get out of the north also. Okay. So, like in all of our games, you can move things in the environment, but we've added a whole bunch of stuff that you can do. So you can, for instance, make a stair. Why would you make a stair? Well, because you want to walk on it, of course. Let me do that. Oh shit!
It's fine. You're doing great. It's fine.
All right, well. All right. I think. Okay, so here's another example of why you would want to do turn-based mode. Say that you want to kill this boar or talk to it or whatever. You can now just press the button and then you can just plan your move. Close to it, and then it has 6 seconds. So if I press my spacebar now, it will move for 6 seconds, and then it's my turn. We'll use this to surprise people and sneak up on them, and hopefully do it really well. I'm just gonna try to jump over. Although I think actually, well, no, I'll just do it. You think you can make this jump without dying? She can. She can. She's pretty badass normally, so. Usually Astarion that dies. So this is an example of a passive check. So my nature skill was used to discover something, and so if it would have failed, I wouldn't have found it, of course. So I found a little cache. The cache belongs to the Harpers, so it gives me a little secret. But it's especially this thing that I need. This is a potion of speed. It will double my movement points, and it's going to also allow me to get 2 actions, which is really good, because we're going to try a very complicated stunt, which I'll probably succeed or fail. See what I did there, but probably succeed or fail. Okay. No, well, actually, first we're going to go to camp.
This seems as good a place as any to make camp. And rest. Huh. Might as well adapt to the Daywalker's ways.
So your camp is a place that's going to expand over time. You will be able to get followers in your camp. Your companions will obviously be here also. And so there's a lot of relationship building happening in your camp.
I'm not sure this is a good idea.
I can tell her not to question me. But I'm going to try to befriend her, so I'm going to ask her what she means.
There are lit fuses in our heads. Sooner or later, they're going to blow. Each hour that passes, the thing inside us grows. We need to find a healer. Let's wake up at first light.
Okay, so I'm going to agree with her, because finding help is indeed our very first concern.
Maybe we'll get lucky. We're overdue some good fortune. Rest well. We'll need our strength.
Rest.
I tried to rest, but my mind wouldn't settle. Just yesterday, I had been seducing a young noble, luring him to my master's lair. Since then, I've been kidnapped by mind flayers, chased through hell by dragons, and fallen from the sky. And I felt the sun on my skin. I should have burst into flames.
So I can ask myself questions, a little bit of a moment of introspection. I can think of my master, who will be furious. I could be a vampire spawn? Yeah, actually, it's a good question. Can a vampire spawn even become a mind flayer?
The worm in my head might not even have an appetite for undead meat. Until I knew more about the tadpole, I wasn't sure how much danger I was in. I had to understand it, master it. I needed to find someone who knew more about this thing.
So I'm going to try to get some sleep, and I'm going to imagine dragging my old master into the sunlight. And that's a persuasion against myself, so I need to roll, I need to do an intelligence check, basically. Right on target. So the way that works is actually there's ability modifiers on it, but we just show you the actual DC that comes out at the end.
I drifted off with a smile, meditating on the flames that engulfed his cruel face.
So he's gonna be happy in the morning. Okay, let's continue our little adventure. So all of the dialogues in the game, like literally all of them, have been performance captured, voice recorded, given cinematic treatment. There hasn't been any compromise because of all the cinematics that we're doing in there, so there's plenty of permutations. And you need to realize that I'm now playing with Astarion, so if we wouldn't be playing with Astarion, we would have different things happening to us. And you'll see that we've gone very far in this.
There may be even more that survive a crash.
Dead goblins over there. Worth checking for supplies, maybe.
Alright, so look what the goblins have. This is a shitty bow. Shitty sword. We might need those, you noticed already. No, everything is useless here. I'm gonna go over there.
Alive. That's unexpected. Last I saw you, you were lying in a crucible's worth of blood. An intellect devourer nibbling at your ear. Glad to see my eyes deceive me. I'm Gale. Well met.
So my vampire option is that I send something off. I was certain he would taste like bile. I can obviously draw my weapon because I don't trust the guy. Well, I'm going to take the vampire one.
Speechless? Might be the shock. We went through a traumatizing experience, if an instructive one.
He asked if by trauma he referred to the thing they put in my eye.
Yes. The ocular penetration by an illithid tadpole, which will end with our souls being snuffed like strands of weave caught in dead magic. Not to mention, you're staring at me like a Rashimi at a blackboard. You're no wizard, are you?
I can obviously just decide to feed, but I will tell him that I don't take kindly to insults.
Thin-skinned and a dodger of questions. Usually means the answer's no. Guess that'll have to wait. Primary need now is a healer. I take it you recall the insertion of the parasite?
Not only did I recall it, I said I was already enjoying its effects, referring to the fact that I can walk in the sunlight.
Interesting. Are you aware that after a period of excruciating gestation, it'll turn us into mind flayers? A process known as ceremorphosis? It is to be avoided. I assume you're no accomplished healer either. Powerful cleric, maybe?
Okay, was this a conversation or an interrogation?
Just trying to figure out where we stand. Conclusion? Nowhere. You and I are in a whole lot of trouble. We need help, and I'm not sure where we'll find it in this wilderness. How about we embark on the quest for a healer together?
Yes, I need a wizard. A wizard is going to be very
Most
good.
excellent. Then, without further ado, let's be off. Besides, looks like you keep some interesting company. A woman with shadows for eyes, deep as the dark lake. Pleasure, madam.
Is it indeed? We'll see.
All right. We're going to get along smashingly. Let's get over there. Just going to do a few things for... Oh yeah, actually I did kill them, so we're good. So I'm going to separate him from my party, because I know what's coming, so I want to show you something. And I'm going to go with them. Well, actually, I'm first going to position him. Because these guys, this can turn out badly as a combat. So I'm going to go over here. See me yet? Further shot. Then I'm going to jump here. Then I'm going to sneak. And so the way sneaking works in Baldur's Gate 3 is that if you see a shadow, it's going to lightly obscure you. All right, and if you walk into the sunlight, you are going to be in the clear area. So when you're in the clear area and you get seen, you are caught on sight. If you go into a obscured area, then you have to roll stealth d20, and yeah, if you get caught, you get caught. But you might actually succeed. If you're heavily obscured, as you will soon see, you can actually just walk right past them. It's kind of cool because every single shadow suddenly has use. But it also means that you can manipulate shadows, because you can put light or you can remove light. Anyway, he's here standing on his crate because that's what he does. So I'm just going to leave him here. And then I'll go over here and I'll, well, yeah, why not? I'll demonstrate a small thing that I just discovered this morning. So normally what I do here, well, first of all, I show that you still have all kinds of environmental interactions that you can use, everything that makes sense within the world of Dungeons and Dragons we've put in. So you can vaporize water with fire, but there's also other cool things that you do. So normally I just show this and I say, okay, well, this is where we are, we start from here. Basically I do it to show that you can navigate over a very high and vertical world. But I figured that if I cast Featherfall, then I make a jump. Boom. Okay. So she still has Featherfall. I know. If she would have jumped without Featherfall, maybe we can do that too. She will die. Anyway, now he has to walk back, but so let me just do that. Featherfall is a very useful spell. The game has an enormous amount of verticality. We'll never get to the places where the verticality is high today, because yeah, we just don't have enough time, and we introduce it gradually to players. But you will be surprised by how much stuff you can do. You can walk on roofs. You can jump all the way down into very, very, very deep holes. Just don't forget the Featherfall. The problem with Featherfall is it takes up if you use it. Well, never mind. I'm not going to say that. All right, let's do the thing I was supposed to do. That's going to go in. Okay. So, and let's regroup them. There's a small problem with the interface here, so you're not always seeing if they're grouped, but they should be grouped, hopefully. No, you're not grouped. You don't want to be grouped. You're grouped. Okay. So let's go meet these fine gentlemen and say hello to them.
You're both twice as tall as me, but have half the bloody backbone.
But we don't know what that thing even is. And what about the crypt?
I'm telling you, it's a ship. And the crypt can wait. Mari and Barton have been trying to break in for days. Now we... Stop! Got ourselves competition already. That's our ship.
Okay, so we have a bunch of persuasion options. I can tell them that I was just looking around, tell them that the ship was full of monsters, my many comrades were coming, or I can try to intimidate them. I'm going to tell them that there's plenty of monsters, and then that's going to be a roll. And that is going to be a failed roll, which is fine. I mean, it's...
You're all hot
okay.
air. Think you can get us to leave that bounty to you? Not a chance. What are you lot waiting for? Get her!
Okay. So, luckily for me, I planned for this. And so, if you do a shove out of a sneak position, that is a 100% chance. And so, that works. Okay, so that was my action for this one. So let's try to do this really well. I'm going to use grease. So grease is going to create difficult terrain for these guys. And difficult terrain is basically going to halve their movement speed as they're trying to go over it. So that's good. Also, we made grease flammable, so if I can put fire on it, it's going to hurt them double. Unfortunately, I have no source of fire anymore because I used up my my fire bolt. So, Shadow Heart however, is going to use her bolt. 75% chance. I think this guy is the strongest, so I'm going to do it on that one. Oh, yeah. Where am I? So let's see. Well, somebody's going to have to stand there to attack the other guy. She has the... She can increase her AC. Okay, so there to her turn. Not down. Miss, that's good. What are you doing? That's a witch bolt, so she can, every turn, as long as she's concentrated, she's going to be able to hurt me. So I need to do something about that. Otherwise, this guy's trying to go up to get his advantage back. He changed his mind. I wonder if he's having a problem here. Right. He might be in an eternal loop. Alright, I'm gonna have to use a cheat here. No, oh, wow, okay. Difficult. Yeah, no, it did work. I actually destroyed his ladders secretly with a secret button, which will remain secret. It's the advantage of a development version. Okay, well, let's just do it and see what it gives, right? Throw item. It's not that bad. You can actually jump on them also, and that hurts them too. So with a warrior with feather fall, you could, for instance, combine that and then jump on somebody. That can hurt. However, this was actually really, but it was just a throw. I can still shoot. I need to make this hit because otherwise Shadowheart is going to be in trouble. Doesn't have to be a pin down. 75% chance. Oh, that's... Okay, good. So, that means that she is now home free. She can... why doesn't she have her spell slot? Oh, well. 40% is not good. I'm going to disengage using my jump. I can do this once in combat. Okay. And I'll just damage. Oh man. Where is Astar? No, Astar is there, but Gale. Looks like I was a little bit too enthusiastic in sending Gale right away. So. Interesting. Oh, that's good. Yeah. That was good, actually. This changes things completely. All right. So he's going to come for Gale. Alright, Shadowheart, how far are you? He's gonna keep on hitting it, right? So... So we're gonna try to... No, we're gonna shoot her, she's still far from us. It's a pity I don't have any fire left. Yeah, good. Then Shadow... it's too far. It's too far, don't have anything I can throw at him. I'm not gonna make it, it's gonna be too far. She can dash. Okay, I'm gonna make her dash. That gives her double movement speed. Well, I'm not gonna get very far, but getting a bit farther. That cancels the entire effect. But maybe if I yell at them, I can't yell, I don't have a yell yet. We will have that, but it's not dead yet. Ow. It's pity that they can't, well... Okay, now we need to make this. We're not gonna die here. I gotta think. Do not want to restart again. play it again. Oh yes, thank you.
That's why you guys are here.
Shadowheart has it, but we have magic pockets. We have magic pockets. You're basically telling me to run away, right? Oh, I have an excellent idea. This is going to work really well. So let me first try killing him, actually. Did I throw something already? I didn't. Oh, but I can still do my cantrip apparently. Aha. That is my second action though. I want to run away. Let's run really far. Well, actually, I can shoot him again.
Good work.
So the cool part is, well, let's first see which direction they're going to go. Actually, because I can go back, he's not going to make it, but she will still make it. If I can get close to her and give her a helping hand, so it's going to be up again. Okay, where are you? You're there, right? What I don't want to do is get too close to you. I can get back here, actually. All right. We're gonna make it. Far shot with a 75% chance. So. No. I'll do it again? No, actually. I'll throw a dagger. Makes a bit more sense. Yeah, before, I mean, actually, those things help. It's just trying to kill my party all the time. Such an awesome man. Okay, so this one works well. Yeah. We'll get there. It might be hard work though. Oh, actually, but what I can still do. No, I get to shoot again, is right? I keep on forgetting this. I got the second action. Alright, okay. Well. My boots. Yeah, it happens that you miss a lot. Why did he get 2 shots anyway? Did he take potion himself? It's possible. So the AI thinks, looks at everything that it... Ah. Yeah. Thank you. Alright, so out of combat, their death saving throw... Oh, she's really dead? She's dead. Yeah, he's alive. That's good, I guess. So. Alright. We'll worry about her later. We'll leave her there. She deserves it. Well, let's first see what they had to pick up. You mean I can't reach? Standing next to her. There you go. Let's actually... let's give this to Gale. Fancy stuff. Make him look more like a real wizard. He's a rope, a beard now. These guys. Worth mentioning, of course, that you can play the game in multiplayer also. So in multiplayer, you can be multiple origin stories, etc. Well, etc. I have to mention it. You can play as everybody's a hero essentially in the multiplayer story. So there's a whole bunch of that functionality. It's going to be very cool. It's another joy playing multiplayer. Like for instance, being able to participate in each other's dialogue, seeing what the other options another person is considering. Something that can be quite intense, as you'll see soon enough. Okay, so we're gonna go inside here.
Thank you, Gimblebock. Everything all right out there?
I'm gonna claim to be Gimblebock and ask him to let me in. Don't worry, we're safe. If it fails, we're okay. Alright.
You sound a bit shaken, boss. Hang on while I find the key.
You're dead!
you're dead. And the reason why is because I surprised him, and then when you surprise somebody, you get the initiative. And so this guy has absolutely no chance. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here. I'm going to shoot him down. There you go. And then I'm going to shoot him again the next turn. See comfortable. There you go. And then I know he's going to try to run away towards his buddies. So I've played this before, which is fine. I'm going to shoot him again. There you go. And that's how easy it can be. Alright, let's see where we end up. So we're now in a small dungeon. We're going to do a Asar in the Great Tomb Raider. So he's going to do all of this on his own. Right? Just as a demonstration of how systemic use of all the systems can lead to great success. Actually, did I pick up my boots again?
Dust.
No, I'm bootless. Alright. I'm going to take the gold. Never know if we get to buy something. Over here. Okay, so I'm going to switch the lights off. I'm going to go sneak mode. Just play it carefully. And I'm going to put myself into forced turn-based mode. And I'm going to try to sneak up behind this one so I can kill her. So she's probably going to start turning back, so I'm going to go and stand in the corner here. I'm heavily obscured. Right? So if I don't come too close, they are not going to detect me. Alright. I'm just going to stand there. No, there she is. This is the reason why. So you have a little hole here. Why? Because this light is creating a zone that she can see in, and then the zone just in front of her. But here, if I were standing here, I would have been actually okay. So let her come back. Oh man, no. Yeah. Okay, don't worry about it. Hello. So this is my sneak attack. So if I do it from melee, I get 1d6 extra damage while sneaking.
How'd you get past Daniel?
Why aren't you?
Back off!
It's okay. It's not that bad. I'm not gonna bite her yet. I'm gonna keep my bite for later. Oh man, come on, really? Okay. Actually, it's gonna be cool. Okay, so I'm gonna go over here. I guess it's safe. I'm going to take my dipping action. Dip it in the torch. No, not my sword, my bow. I mean, my arrows actually. That's what suggested. That. Aha. And somebody put a pitch barrel here for me. Sorry. This is cool. Sticking an arrow that creates darkness. So, oh, this is a better bow than my bow actually. So let's switch bows. So let's try to do that again. This time. So the trick here is that I'm going to try to get into this place, but
No lock, no handle. How does it open?
well, I happen to know. So small spoiler. So let me just do the same thing here. Try not to ruin it this time. I'm going to go in here. Force turn base. So we're going to create a zone of darkness. So the zone of darkness is basically going to cover me like this, so that he can't see me while I'm in there. And then just wait. Pass by. So zone of darkness essentially blocks the vision cone. Probably not doing this very well. Alright. Yeah. Okay, well, we'll just see what happens. Chicken doesn't.
At least there's no skeletons this time.
Nope. Let's go this way. And I want to... I hope it's going to work here. Really? It's not going to work? Ah, there you go.
That's curious.
I needed this handle, because this handle is a secret handle that opens the door on the other side. Right. So now I'm going to just try to do it the other way. This guy will never know what happened to him. That was actually quite close. Right. So now he can see me. So I can just pickpocket him. Doesn't have anything on him. So it's just... okay, it's a little cutting a little bit short.
Empty-handed again.
Alright. That's the report. So the clearness comes from the light, of course. Okay. We're still working on better visualization of this, so I doubt that you're going to have it exactly like this when you get to play it. But Star in the Great Tomb Raider has managed to do something without being detected, which is quite an achievement. Alright, let's continue. So our door is open.
I like it. Homely.
Right, you don't have to sneak anymore. Also notice how the music changes when you start sneaking. The music system is super adaptive to everything that you do. Right, this has a tendency of going wrong, so I'll do my utter best. This is a
That's curious.
a tomb. There's dangerous things here. There's skeletons lying on the floor, and then there's things that are popping up. And then I have perception checks that are succeeding, that are failing. So you know that something's going to happen. And then there's this big thing in the middle. So and inside you find a cool weapon and a key and a skull. So we're going to take everything. And then you have grease appearing everywhere. And then you got fire appearing. So, but I knew exactly where to stand. And I'm going to enter turn-based mode, because turn-based mode is also something that you can use to navigate traps. So you got 6 seconds to think, and then the traps get their turn, and you get your turn. So you get the gist. So the way that I figured out getting out of here is Mage Hand. Mage Hand can throw stuff. And so what I can do, you saw that I can make my own stairs, so I can make a stair out of here. Mage Hand is just going to go over here. Let the evil traps do their thing. And then back to Mage Hand. And I gotta do it the way that I'm doing it, because I practiced this, and when I did it wrongly, I threw it too far, the crate got damaged, and then I jumped on top of it, and then the crate destroyed, and then I died anyway, so... there we go. Okay, one more. So having turn-based mode allows us to do much cooler traps and not having you to require to have lightning fast reflexes in what is a game which has many spells, many actions that you can do. So it's kind of handy to have. All right, also solves the problem if you want to talk to very fast creatures. Oh no! Sorry. No. Don't fall. Please don't fall. Okay. I'm gonna do my little jump now. Maybe there's not enough space. What do you mean there's not enough space? There is enough space. Apparently not. Oh, yeah. I wonder if that's a bug that I have. No. Oh, there you go. Okay, so that should work. There we go. This pillar blocks me. So I'm gonna send the mate. No! Oh man, why do you have to follow Mage Hands? Shit. Alright, well, that's good. That's handy, Mage Hand. Your perception check was successful. It's not supposed to have a perception check, but it's good of Mage Hand to do it. But that's cool, because then I can actually throw this thing on that. There we go. So that way, there's no more grease coming out of it. And I'm going to jump. Oh, yeah, I used my jump. Do you think I can make it? Maybe if I dash. I know what I'm going to do, but you have to stop. Alright, this is a bit harder than I expected it to be. So let me... Well, I know what I'm going to do then. Alright, this is going to be a little bit non-orthodox, but... There you go. So that's going to take that grease away, and let's just see what happens when I get out of turn-based. My crate is broken. Ah, man. Okay. Well, I'll bet I made a corridor here, so that's good. So now we know that we can't trust. I have my dash. Where's my dash? Let's dash. I'll get out of here eventually, but hopefully today. I guess I can walk over there and stand in the grease for a second. Okay. Alright, go over there. Yeah. Okay. And then make that jump. No, just have to get there now. Well, one more turn out. I'll not jinx it. Okay. Can I dash again? Yeah, that should do it. Don't fall. Don't fall. Okay, we made it outside of the very evil trap. So we're gonna get to the final room of this mini dungeon. So this is the kind of situation you'll find yourself in if you're in multiplayer and you're just dashing off and leaving your party behind. You can always manage. It's just sometimes a little bit tricky.
So many dead. No signs of a struggle.
So we're entering a big room, and so you see a bunch of skeletons on the floor. So you are all gamers, you know what's going to happen. These guys are going to race. So here's a little trick I figured out: is I can take their weapons away. Now, unfortunately, because disarming somebody is actually a valid action, the AI developers are making it so that they will pick up the weapons that they, if they see something on the floor and they're unarmed, the AI will actually come to the same the conclusion on its own. But luckily, it's not implemented yet. So we can take advantage of this today. I'm going to give this guy a sword just so that we can see the difference between the guys. Did I have all of them? I just want to make sure that the guys with the bow don't have a... Do you have a bow? Ah, there's another marksman over there, yeah. So I'm going to try the final heist of this little tomb raiding adventure, and if I fail, they'll spot me. And then when they spot me, what's going to happen is that they are going to... well, they'll shoot me, and then I'll die, and then it's these fellas that have to come back and get me, and they are obviously not very good at it, as you can see from their health bars. I'll then consider whether or not I'm going to resurrect them. Oh no. Okay, my perception failed, so I need Gale. But Gale has a shortcut. There was actually a... Oh, he can also bring Astarian's boots back. So there's an actual shortcut, but I didn't want to do it because when you do it, it alerts the guards on the inside and they all gang up, and then I can't do Astarian on his own. If you shoot this thing and somebody's standing under it, he'll die. But it also creates a hole in the floor. And so, like this, I can jump in it. Go. And then we find ourselves into this room here. And then like this, I can open this room. So that was a shortcut. But then they basically all the bandits that are in this dungeon then stand outside of this door and they're ready to kill you. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay, let's go that way. So he'll have a better chance at succeeding in a history check. Which I think, no, it's perception though, actually. Let's just try it out. Maybe we won't open it today, so it's another secret. The game is full of secrets. Exploration is heavily rewarded. You will never see all the secrets in one go. It's impossible. So if you're min-maxer, you will curse at us. Yeah, thank you. All right, I'm gonna get you out of here because otherwise I can't do my little Astarno on all alone stunt. So I'm gonna send you over here. This is the exit. So this is where in a second Astarno will have to manage to get himself. Okay. Press the button. Click. We get inside here.
A lot of effort to hide one sarcophagus.
Indeed, I wonder what will happen. Just in case. Right. Okay, so the reason why we came here is because we wanted, we have poison, that's fine, because we can throw poison at people, but not at skeletons, of course. But there's Amulet of Joy and Sorrow, which gives me the Speak with Dead spell. So Speaking with Dead is something that you can do with the amulet, provided they have a mouth.
Oh, hells. Something just woke up.
Unfortunately, I don't have my... I just realized that this is the reason I keep my speed potion in general. Let's see... why are you standing here anyway? Alright, let's just hug the wall and wait for him to move. Let's wait a little bit longer. There you go. Okay. This should be easy at this point. So this is also why we need some better indications still that we're working on. Because this looks bright because the artist put the light here, but for the game it's actually it's a heavily obscured zone. So these kind of things that we still need to fix. Alright, I'll be good I think. With the potion of speed I was already out of here. Somebody made me drink it. Thank you for that, but ooh. Well, I'm heavily obscured. They actually have dark vision, so it should have been a check. So I think that the system just didn't register it fast enough. Yeah. The dark vision does work, yeah, so. But it's fine. It's good. I mean, like, look, we're almost at the exit. Yeah, and they have no arrows, they have no bows, they have no weapons. Look, they all have their hands. Like, so this is exactly how it should be. The AI is trying to figure out what the hell am I going to do. I'm going to dash. Where's my dash? That's going to allow me to get very far. Okay, and then don't do anything. All right, and then that's my movement bar, by the way. So the amount of movement I have. Gale joins the thing, the action. Oh, I only have 5 minutes left. Oh shit. Oh. Oh. Yeah, my phone is charging, I forgot my timer, so. Alright, well I wanted to show you one last thing, so a little bit of audience participation. So let me try to do that as fast as I can. Oh.
he gave up. He was like, I'm done.
No, I don't think I'm gonna get out of it.